Hello, I'm Mark Heisey, and I work at the Noble branch of the Pioneer Library System. One of the programs that I coordinate is an adult book discussion titled Bold Reads. We focus on books that may have difficult subject material, but they're literary in scope, and by literary in this sense, I mean that they're works that are well written, and they have authors who are ultimately trying to answer or discuss some of the mysteries of the human condition. Today I'll give an in-depth look at Gods of Howl Mountain by Taylor Brown. I'll try to remain spoiler-free, but some plot points will need to be discussed. I hope you'll choose to read this book. You can access this book online in many formats, including Adobe File, EPUB, or Kindle. Of course, when the library opens, you'll be able to access the paper copy as well. So Gods of Howl Mountain is a robust and rowdy read. Gritty, hot-blooded characters dominate this story in the North Carolina mountains on which they live. It is a tale to quicken your pulse and have you hoping that a little backwoods justice will be dealt to the deserving. Rory Doherty has returned from the Korean War with a wooden leg and a desire to know who attacked his mother and killed her young lover all those years ago, which left his mother unable to speak in an institution. Rory runs whiskey in his 1944 Maybelline, which is powered by an ambulance engine. Granny May, who is a former prostitute, is the local folk healer, a wood witch trying to raise her grandson Rory and ensure he doesn't succumb to the darkness he saw during the war, which still gives him nightmares. The book is well written. The prose is vivid and leaves intense impressions. Occasionally, you'll bump into a sentence that tries too hard, that may have one or two descriptors too many or use a word in a way that's a little too clever, but everyone who's tried to write descriptively has done the same. One word of caution. The opening chapter is off-putting. If it is to you as well as it was to me, just ignore the feeling and keep reading. The first chapter isn't indicative of the rest of the narrative. The chapter feels overworked, honestly, and the insistent references to Rory's car as the machine serves an example of a section which tries to be a little too clever and becomes a bit annoying. However, after that, the rest of the book displays Taylor Brown's skill in exposition. There are many examples of how he uses language to paint a picture and bring a story to life. One which stands out describes butchering a pig. Brown sees and handles the scene deftly, and he uses just the right language to make something somewhat gruesome verge on, if not beautiful, the poetic. They drag the fatted animal across the yard, each holding a leg. They spread the hind legs and pierce the ankle tendons on the outer hooks of a single tree, then throw a rope over a low-hanging branch and haul the animal off the ground like they would an engine. Granny stepped forward with her razor and sliced the big vein in the neck, just back at the jawbone. She set on a stone jug to catch the streak of blood, life bright in the gray dawn. She used it for making blood sausage. Once it was bled, they lowered the animal into the near boiling water of the pot, going to work on the bristles as they heaved it streaming from the water. They dunked it again and again this way, scraping its hide. The sun found the bare skin glistening over the wash pot, pink scalded and ready for the knife. Granny made the cut, a long red vent from nethers to chin, careful not to puncture the organs. She cut the entrails out, letting them fall glistening and ropey in the tub at her feet. They salted the meat white, their red-stained hands leaving little prints on the ice-like shapes and hunks. They talked little as they worked, and Granny didn't know if it was the nature of the work or something else. So this is a book twisting with tension. The action scenes could easily have been taken right off the big screen, and I think it would probably look good on the screen. Only problem is you just want to make sure they get the nuances right. This book has many. There's something about Rory that brings to mind Cool Hand Luke, and the vengeance that burns in him reminds me of like old school Charles Bronson movies. Another way you could put this is these characters are somewhat like the Clampetts before they left the backwoods for the Beverly Hillbillies, but they have the penchant for violence and the demons that haunt them, like the Shelby family from Peaky Blinders, if that'll work for you. Anyways, Gods of Howl Mountain is Taylor Brown's third novel. It's the first of his, however, that I've read. And now I'll need to go and read his first two books. I think you'll enjoy this one. Thank you.